Hey, how you doing, Connor?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
Well, I finally got this thing up and running. I didn't think I was going to get it up and running or not. Having some technical issues. Couldn't get my cameras going. Couldn't get anything to record. Couldn't get anything to go live. Could get the computer to come on real good. So, how's things and where you're at?
Things have been pretty good. I had a good workout this morning, and I've just been chilling out. I've been watching a lot of replays from the fights last night.
Yeah. Did you watch the fights then?
Yeah, I did. I should have bet some money. I had three of my main event, 3 out of 5 of my main event picks were correct, and I had 4 of the prelims correct. I should start betting some money on it. That's for sure.
You always seem to do pretty good on it. You always seem to pick pretty close. You seem to pick pretty close. So who won? Was there any highlights from the fights?
Oh yeah, Sean Strickland won. He dominated Israel Adesanya for 4 rounds. I thought he won all 5 rounds, but the judges gave Israel round 2. Yeah, the fight was not close at all. Like Israel, he showed that he has some work to do in the boxing. His kickboxing, he has good kicks, he has good feints, but feints don't win you fights.
Right.
Calf kicks don't win you fights.
Right.
Definitely not when you're getting punched in the face. If you're getting punched in the face and all you're doing is throwing back a kick and all of your punches are getting blocked by a high guard, a high Philly show guard, you're not going to win. And he showed how he showed his weakness. Fight. He showed how other contenders can beat him. And hopefully sooner or later people will start catching on, and then we'll have some new up-and-comers, some young, fresh contenders in the middleweight division. So
that would be good. Always new talent always brings in more excitement, seems like.
Yep, it does. How's it for you? You're going on the road here soon, aren't you?
Yeah,
a specific date.
Supposed to. I don't know. I'm waiting for loads to be dispatched to me right now. Get everything up and running, all that kind of stuff. Trying to pack and get everything done. Try to make this a short podcast. Supposed to go out with my girlfriend too this afternoon before I leave. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But
hopefully that goes well.
Yeah, right. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, I seen that video you sent me of Dr. Fauci. I listened to that 3 or 4 times, and I just don't think that's real. I don't think they will ever do anything to those guys. And if they do fine them, they'll never pay. But
it'd be nice if it was real, though. That's for sure. Scamming the country, scammed people out of their businesses, scammed people out of their homes. I know a lot of people. You see a lot of people talk about how they went homeless. They lost their jobs because they wasn't getting the vaccine, and it's if this is real, which I hope it is, he deserves to pay for something like that. Lying to the people, carrying on like he knows the one he actually did, and confusing the public and scaring the public over it.
Yeah, it was, and the fact that he come out, prior to the Trump administration and said that they would have a massive pandemic, towards the end of the Trump presidency. How the heck did he know that? How did he know that was coming? I don't know. This whole thing is shady. It's shady. We have to be careful. We might get kicked off YouTube again if we talk too much about this. So there's definitely something strange going on there, and there's a lot of things going on in the world. Pretty terrifying right now, as far as World War III is concerned. But
Yes, it is. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen in the upcoming days, especially with the war in Ukraine, and then China feeling like they can walk all over us. So you never know.
right, it's all kind of
It was
definitely something different. That's for sure. Definitely something different. So you sent me another video, and it was uh, get these papers straightened up here. So you sent me another video of this house, it's Hell's Kitchen or whatever, and had this knives flying out and refrigerator doors opening and shutting and opening back up and drawers opening. And some of it could have been staged. Some of it very well could have been staged. The knife would have been hard to stage. The way that thing come up and went zip, 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 and then hit the ground. Um, if you can post a link to that in the comment section, if you could, if you have that link.
Yeah, Pablo, give me 1 second.
In the chat box, or that way somebody can see it, or the comment section, either one. But yeah, that would have been hard to fake. I don't know a person could have faked that. Now, there's definitely a cutoff point there with the drawer and the refrigerator. That could have been staged. That very easily could have been staged. Yawning. I'm tired. But I don't know how they would have staged shutting the refrigerator door. But they could have definitely staged opening it. What do you think? Did I lose you? Well, it looks like we've lost Connor for a minute. Anyway, on this thing, there was this guy. He's sitting there. He's like playing on his computer, or whatever. And his kid's on the floor. His refrigerator door opens up behind him, and so then he goes, to cross over to shut it, and the sucker shuts. So then he stops going to shut it, and then it opens back up again. So he when it opens back up again, he turns around and runs. I don't know if he picked up his kid or not. This is the funny part, but another one, he's trying to make a sandwich or something. I don't know, he's doing something there in the kitchen, and a knife falls out. And he's like, "Well, that's just weird. This knife fell out." Well, the next thing you know, another knife comes out and spins around and around and around in the air and falls. And that was very strange.
Watching that video, it confuses me for the most part. Like some of them looked real and some of them looked staged. And the ones that looked real to me were these ones where like you said, the knives, that would have been hard to stage, and the one with what was it? The drawer to the kitchen drawer sliding open and closing shut. I feel like that would have been hard to stage as well. It makes you think, like, what are these people doing in their homes for these scenarios to be happening?
And then drawer opens up, that girl pushes it back, then it opens back up again, and she runs out. And she does not hesitate. She leaves the apartment or house, whatever it is, immediately and slams the door behind her. That was pretty funny. But there are instances of that stuff happening around here. I can't give no names, but it was a neighbor to your grandpa, a house very close to him, that had similar happenings once a year. And it was like during this 1 month, they had all kinds of crazy crap happen. I mean, crazy crap happen. Like the pictures on the wall would spin or fly off. The cabinet doors would open and all the stuff would fly out of the cabinets, just like something out of Ghostbusters. But it only happened for 1 month, and it happened the same month every year. And nobody knows why. Because they didn't build the house, but they were the second people to live in the house. And it was like sometime between June and September. I can't remember because I was a kid, but it happened every every single year at that month. That whole month long, they know what to expect. And then it ended at the end of every month. And they have been the only people to live there any significant amount of time. Almost everybody else lived there a very short while and left. They left the home. But they lived there long enough to pretty much raise their kids there. But and there's not been I think there's been 2 or 3 families in and out of there since they left. No one stays there. No one will stay there. But
I don't blame them.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. But you hear about this stuff and you think, oh, it's fake, you know. And you see videos like that uh, on TikTok or YouTube, and you think, man, that's got to be fake. It's got to be fake. And then you see these Hollywood productions that show similar stuff, so you think, well, okay, you know, maybe these people are faking it too. Maybe this is staged, but I can absolutely 100% tell you for sure that there was nothing staged in that house. And, you know, they just kind of dealt with it. You know, they dealt with it. And they knew it was coming every once a year during that month, whatever month it was, June or September. I can't remember which one, but it was something like that. And they just dealt with it. And, you know, there's really nothing they could do, really, you know. It hadn't really hurt them.
You hear like a lot of these stories, and you've told us stories growing up as kids and all that kind of stuff, all this paranormal stuff, and you know, it just makes you think of where it comes from. Like like is it air vacuums in the house that's causing stuff to open up or close? I remember at the house on 92, me and my 2 brothers, my twin and Logan, we were all sitting upstairs while he played Halo on the Xbox. And this is when we were first moving in. And the door to the basement was wide open, and it slammed shut, which that was considered an air vacuum because the downstairs door was open, so the air just sucked the door shut. But at the time, we didn't know what was going on. Do you think like a lot of these videos that we see is it's just nature playing its role? Definitely with the air vacuums and other.
I seen a video one time where it looked like paranormal and all the stuff was flying out of the cabinets just like that. But they said what was really happening was some kind of magnetic and gravitational anomaly that happened. And I don't know why they said that. Maybe they was trying to cover up the fact that it's paranormal, or maybe it really was a gravitational and magnetic anomaly. But but why is it just certain things flying around the air instead of the whole, you know, instead of just everything in the cabinets? You know, why isn't it, you know what I'm saying? Why is it just why is it just the cabinets, everything flying out of the cabinets? If it was a gravitational and magnetic anomaly, you would be flying around, you know? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not trying to put this cord up. I just don't see how
like I have a feeling like a lot of people that, you know, they might want to try to fix some of this stuff for views, clicks, and that kind of stuff. But you have some stories, right? You have stories growing up of stuff you've seen, you know, glowing red eyes on Lake Cumberland and all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
I remember you telling us stories as kids. Do you have any good stories to tell?
Yeah.
Viewers that you've not already shared?
I've about pretty much shared most of them, but there was an incident that happened when I was a kid. And I don't really have a whole lot of detail about it because I don't really know. But there was a monster that terrorized Wayne County when I was a kid back in the 80s. And most of the hunters went out and bought higher powered guns, like bigger guns, to take it down, like guns big enough to kill like a grizzly bear. Supposedly on Span Hill, a woman and kids was attacked. And, you know, they didn't hurt the kids or them, but where this thing was, tried to get inside the house. They claimed it was marked up like a host team, but looked like had the head of a cat on it, and had, you know, just, I don't know, the way they talked about it, it was like 2 or 3 different animals put together. It had like the head of this and claws of that, and I don't know. It was just crazy the way they described the thing. I mean, and I can't really remember, but everybody and their brother was hunting for that sucker because it killed some hogs and it killed some beagles and it actually killed some things, attacked some animals, and I actually seen it. And then it tried to get in that trailer on that woman and her kids, and it was summertime because we were cutting cabbage when all this stuff was going down. But everybody in the community was looking for that thing, and no one doubted it. Everyone believed it. But most time you hear something like that, everybody's like, "Oh, it's not real," But no one doubted this. Everyone believed her, and I reckon it actually done damage to the trailer. I reckon that they lived in. So, um, but that's an odd story I've never talked about, and I don't know if anybody else out there has the information on it or not. But if you do, I'd like to have some more information on it because I can't remember all the details. I just remember all the hunters was tore up. They was going to kill that thing, for endangering those kids and stuff. But the best I can remember was the kids is outside playing, and I can't remember if it was the same place that killed the hogs or what. But anyway, this creature come up and like tore a hog in two, like tore a hog completely in two, with the way they described it. And then they'd seen the little kids playing out in the yard, and it started coming from them. And the woman grabbed them up and ran inside, locked the doors, and the beagle, ran out there to kind of protect them, I guess, and it just tore the beagle in half too. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just what I remember from being a kid. Well, you don't hear of a bear having a head like a cat, so I don't know.
No, that's true too. Might have been a big bobcat or something. You never know. I remember you telling me a story of whenever you and one of your first ex-wife lived together. You guys lived in the trailer, and you would hear beating on the outside of the trailer. When you went out there was nothing there, right?
Yeah, that was bad. Don't really know exactly what that was, but I don't know if it's Bigfoot or I don't know. At the time, I thought it.
Dogman.
I don't know what it was. At the time, I thought it was her poltergeist coming from her other house trying to get in there to her, because she did have a poltergeist. But then later, years later, I thought it might have been Bigfoot. At first, I thought it was somebody, and I'd have Dad shine the spotlight down there on the back of the trailer, and he couldn't see nothing. But I'd have to pace the floor all night with my rifle, waiting for something to break through the door, because whatever it was so big that it was shaking the whole trailer. And the dogs, I had big coonhounds, right? I'm talking about coonhounds that they'll fight anything. These dogs would get underneath the trailer and start crying when that thing would come. They would hide underneath, and they would just be like crying and barking and just I mean, it was just a god awful sound you ever heard of them underneath the trailer carrying on, and that thing a growling and beating the sides out of the walls, and you could watch the panel move, and this thing done this every night, and it done it until it finally tore down that red building out there next to it, the old barn or shed or whatever it was out there next to the trailer. After I tore that thing down, it quit. I don't know if that was a significant thing to it or what, but whatever that thing was, it tormented me and my first ex-wife every night. Logan too. Logan was a little baby. I mean, he would be screaming, and that thing just be beating the sides of the trailer. And we couldn't sleep. For months we couldn't sleep. No rest whatsoever. Very, very traumatic, very trying time. Dad would stand out there with the spotlight and shine down on the trailer and couldn't see nothing. Couldn't see a thing. I'd call him. I'd be like, "Man, can you hear this thing? It's beating the walls out." He'd say, "I can't see a thing down there." Well, there I was with a wife and a little baby, and I wasn't about to swing open the door to something that's shaking a whole 30-foot trailer or whatever it was. you know, or 60-foot trailer, a mobile home. I mean, who's going to do that? You know?
Yeah, Lord no. Not, not with your kid, and you don't want to scare the family, but I'm sure they was already startled by it.
Oh
right?
yeah, they were scared to death. But all I had was a 223. You know, that's basically a varmint rifle, or it'll take out a guy. You know, it's about the same caliber the military uses, 223 or 5.56. But it's not going to stop something that's shaking a trailer. You know, a mobile home, a full size single wide mobile home. It's not going to do that. Whatever, and I had no idea what it was. At the time, I thought it might have been a poltergeist because we couldn't see it. But now I've heard that Bigfoot can cloak in situations like that. I don't know if that's true or not. People sell all kinds of crap. I mean, who knows? I mean, really, who knows? But anyway, yeah, whatever that thing was tormented us. And I mean, you just have no idea what it's like to go for nights on end with no sleep, none whatsoever, because of something like that. But it was very, very traumatic. Very traumatic. And then not long after that, there was a UFO or something that showed up that would shine a light right through that bedroom window, right into our faces. And we could not sleep there either. We had to eventually take blinds. We had those plastic blinds, and we had to take like quilts and stuff and hang over the window because that whatever that thing was in the sky was shining the light right straight in. Now, a buddy of mine who flew with the drug task force that was in the National Guard at the time said that they had uh, a new light that they hung off the bottom of a helicopter that made marijuana glow in the dark. Now, this could have been what this was. And they could have been up there flying. He could have been just aggravating the crap out of us. I don't know. I mean, there's many possibilities with any of this stuff. He would have known where we lived. He could have. If they were up there flying, the mountain ranges and the hillsides and stuff, especially around us, they could have easily come back over that away and just aggravate the dog crap out of us. Just for the fun of it. But but whatever this thing was, they would. For the longest time, there was an orange light that looked like a street light. I don't know if you remember the old orange street lights or not. The old sun type street light. But it looked like a ball of light that would fall around the mountains. And everybody around here was trying to figure out what the heck it was. And then it come out that it was a big light that they hung off a rope off a helicopter, off one of those Blackhawks, whatever they hunt marijuana with. And it made the marijuana glow in the dark somehow. And that made it easier to find. But now, I cannot remember hearing a helicopter. But when you're experiencing something like that, you may not be listening for a helicopter. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's nighttime. You're confused about what the light is, and I'm sure back then too, like everything was so silent. So, like maybe you wouldn't have heard, it's up
right
500, 700 feet in the air, right?
Right.
However high they go. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were doing, or if they were looking for escaped prisoners or anything like that, right?
Well, not necessarily escaped prisoners anywhere where we're at, but that's what they claimed anyway.
Yeah, there's some interesting stories. That's definitely with the ones beating on your trailer and stuff like that. You would have to look into it, see what you can find. Did you ever just want to follow up on something like that? Go back to where the trailer used to set and see if you could find any traces of anything that would ever come back. Because I'm sure it's in that area, looking for food or.
Well, I don't really know what was ever there, and on top of that, something heavy was on that back porch. It broke it. I forgot that. Something stepped up on that back porch and broke it. A treated lumber porch, like a deck, built like a deck, and it had had broke it down. I don't really know. I have no idea what this thing was, but whatever it was is heavy enough to break a porch, like like a porch for the back of a trailer. And I mean, there was so many things happen. It's just odd, you know. It's an odd spot of the farm too. That spot of the farm's had a lot of paranormal activity down there. Me and Papa were up there at the me and my dad, your grandpa was down there when we first moved in. We were plowing the tobacco patch across from where my trailer set, and you know, if you know how the road goes, you have to go right straight by the field, right where the fence comes. You know where the road splits and goes up towards my parents' house. Then the road goes straight by, right? It's a straight shot. You have to pass it. Well, we were plowing towards uh, the place across the road that the new addition to the farm. We were plowing towards that, and a car come past the old barn up there on the hill. Like towards the highway. You know what I'm saying? He come over the hill just to flying. It was gravel road back then, and dust was just blowing up all around it. It had lights sitting up on the fender wells, like an old Model A or T or something like that, an old model car with lights up on the fenders, right?
Yeah.
Well, it comes barreling down through there towards me and Dad, and just a cloud of dust around it, right? And when we get down there, I mean, it's coming right straight for us, but when it gets in front of us, it just vanishes. And I look at Dad and I said, "Where'd that car go?" He said, "I have no idea." I said, "Well, it didn't just zoom right past us." I said, "It got almost to us and just gone." He said, "I know." He said, "I don't know where it went." But the fence row there was nowhere to go in that fence row in those days. That was before he bought that other side and come in there and cleaned it all out. I mean, you could see it, but there was big trees down through there, and there was no place for any kind of vehicle to go whatsoever. And we were driving right straight for the straight in part of the driveway that goes back to the neighbor's house and to the white barn. Nothing could have. I mean, there was no place for it to go. It didn't continue past us. It didn't turn and go up towards the house and come by us. It had to go straight in front of us, but it never did. It just kind of vanished in the dust. It was very, very weird.
Yeah. I see you guys sitting on the side of the road and was like, let's throw it in reverse and slow it out of there. But, like you said, you would have seen it.
We would have seen it. We would have seen it. We would have seen it turn around. Yeah. We would have seen it go back up the hill past the barn because we were headed straight towards that one. We were headed straight. We were plowing, so we're driving slow. We're headed straight for the road. So it's odd. We don't know where it went or anything else. I'll tell you another weird thing. We thought it was in the world there one time. This all happened all about the same time. That's when we first moved in there. There was a storm cloud come through, and it was so low that you could look outside the kitchen window and look over the top of it and watch it thunder and carry on and rain below it, right? It was so low, it was even with the house. And it went straight up there. And there was a bunch of them. It's like a fog. And it just went straight up there to the back of the spring. And it all gathered up back there. And you could hear the lightning and carrying on and see it. I mean, you could hear it thundering, but you could see it lightning and carrying on. Then all of a sudden it just went whoop, right over the mountain. It just went just right over the mountain. But I mean, we were all kind of nervous. I mean, we thought it was the end of the world. I looked at that and said, "What is this, the end of time?" And Dad said, I really don't know, because none of us had ever seen anything like that. But now I'm older and I've done a little more research. There's a place down there in South America. I can't remember which country, but they go down there to this big mountain and lake where these storm clouds form the same kind of activity where they get all kinds of lightning strikes and pictures and photos of lightning and stuff like that. It's it's a place where it lightens like all the time. They have lightning all the time, so they can go there and make all kinds of videos and pictures and stuff like that, artwork. But the storms do the same thing there. They back up against that mountain, and all of a sudden they go right over the top. What is weird is that the pressure had to be really low or really high or whatever it is that makes a storm cloud come all the way to the ground. I mean, this thing was 10, 50, we come right up the waterway and went right. I mean, there was no chicken houses there then. So it went straight back up to the spring, right around that hill. It's just the oddest thing we ever seen in our lives. Very odd.
These some interesting stories. I'd like to look more into them. What you've been talking about. You said you did want to cut the stream short though. How long did you want to go? Did you have any more stories to tell, or?
Well, I'll tell you one. Excuse me. I'll tell you one on your grandpa. I don't know if I ever told you this or not, but about the little girls in the white wedding dresses.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
One in the ditch.
I don't know about a ditch.
And were they the ones that ran you off the road?
No. We were at a place where we were setting tobacco, and Grandpa and another guy went down to the spring to fill the tractor up with water, right? Because you have to have water for the tobacco setter. Well, they're down there filling it up,
Yeah.
and a similar situation to the car, right? These two little girls. Now we're out in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody around. There's nothing around. It's just woods and fields, and that's about it. Well, these two little girls come dancing down the road in little white wedding dress looking outfits, like you know, not necessarily they're wearing wedding dresses, but like you know, flower girl type dresses, real fancy little white dresses.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, they're holding hands and they're skipping all the way down through there. Well, Papa and the guy with him didn't really think much about it, at the time. They just kind of, just kept filling up the tractor with water, and you had to put some chemicals in there when you're filling it up. And they was doing that and watching the pump and all that kind of stuff. And you know, they look back up and the little girls is gone. They never passed them. They never went by them, and they didn't go into the field where we were setting tobacco because all of us was up there and none of us seen them. Those little girls vanished out of the road, and when they come back, they were whiter than ghost. They were white as a sheet of paper, man. So whatever it was, kind of, I never seen Grandpa that white before. Grandpa, Papa, he ain't afraid of nothing. Your great grandpa, was who it was. But anyway,
Tatum.
no, that's my great grandpa.
Oh, Papa Junior. Papa Junior.
Yeah, but anyway, he was white as a ghost after that. But there was something funny I was going to tell you, and to end on, I can't remember now what it was, but it was oh yes, this is a story about your cousin Wade. That was a good friend of mine. He's gone now, died a hero. But anyway, he we told some girls that there was a ghost up there on a certain road like Missouri Hollow or whatever. So and
Yep.
you could only see it at night time. So she was hit, by a car walking home from Walmart or whatever, and she wears a dress and all this kind of stuff. Well, anyway, uh, he got raining one night, and we talked Wade and put on a dress and get him a bag full of groceries, a little Walmart sack full of groceries. And we took him up there and set him out in the rain. Well, anyway, I go down through there and I pick up these girls, and I come over the hill, and I come around the long way, where we're walking, where we're driving, where we're going to be facing Wade, and and it's funny. Anyway, we're coming down through there and it's pouring the rain, and you barely see anything. I'm like, oh, man, I feel sorry for Wade out there in this, But he was such a good nature. He had such a great nature, just great turn about him. Always looking to have a good time, something like this, to pick on somebody or have some fun. And we're coming down through there, and here he is. We see him coming down through there. And I'm telling these girls this story, about this poor woman got hit in the rain. Now every time it rains, she shows up. She's trying to make it home with her groceries, and just really laying it on thick. And we come around through there, and we come around a curve right at the graveyard, and right there, my truck lights hit Wade. And those girls screamed. One girl, yeah, one girl said, "Oh my God, it's real! It's the ghost! It's ghost!" And the other one said, "That's the ugliest ghost I ever seen."
Oh man,
Yeah,
they had to do them like that.
yeah. So that's the ugliest ghost I ever seen. I was thinking as a woman. They didn't realize it was a man, They didn't realize it was a dude, in a dress. But that's funny. And we had a lot of good times, a lot of good pranks, good times, and yeah. But anyway, that was your second cousin, I guess, your first cousin. Never got a chance to meet him, but he'd have thought the world of you guys, and you owed to him too. So, but anyway, Connor, you take care, and then hey, keep us updated. Maybe next week we'll be on the road. Maybe we can do a better podcast, a little bit better. Maybe be better prepared for it. Today we're packing up and trying to get ready to go. So you take care.
Yeah, I will do. And thank you for having me on. It's been good to be on the podcast the last few times, and I'll plan to come back more and bring some more experiences and stories to tell.
Oh, cool.
And good luck on your trip.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I sure do appreciate it. Well, you'll be here in a few days, so you be careful too, okay?
Yes, I will.
All right.
I will be.
All right. All right. Thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for listening. Please like and subscribe, share wherever you share videos to. Listen to us on Spotify, podcast. I done forgot them all. Breaker, Apple iTunes, anywhere you listen to podcasts, Google Podcast. And thank you all for listening. Please like and subscribe and share. Have a good night.